The Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, those Minnesota Timberwolves are currently 8-2 and number 3 in the Western Conference today and have figured out a way to lock up the entire NBA. They are off to their best start since 2001-2002, and they have the number 1 defensive rating in the NBA. The number 1 opponent's points per game in the NBA at just under 104 points per game. Last year, the best in the NBA was 107. Number 1 in defensive rebounds and opponent field goal percentage. Elite stuff right here from the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we're going to be looking at how they do it in today's video. Led on the defensive side of the ball by the Twin Towers, Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. They also have Anthony Edwards, who is carrying them offensively, and he is off to an elite start this year with 28.4 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, and 5.4 assists a night. He's also shooting at 46% from the field, 37% from 3, averages 1.5 steals, and is still 22 years old. This is the breakout season we were all expecting from Anthony Edwards, and he's starting to look like those two shooting guards that he sometimes gets compared to, especially when he starts to hit that mid-range post-fade game. It looks so much like it. I'm telling you right now. Let's start off by looking at the elite defense here, and we're going to look at how they're doing it, because they got two big lumbering 7-footers on the court at the same time, and they're still able to lock people down, and it's called the funneling defense here. As you can see, and we'll look at it throughout this video, the Timberwolves really force you to the basket so they can have those two 7-footers in Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns, and really, like Mike Conley right here has his back turned. They don't care. You know, they're not going to dig in from the perimeter. They want to funnel you to the rim. As you can see here, everybody's locked up on their guy with, I believe that's Ant, has his back turned to the basket. They're funneling you into the paint where you have to deal with their two 7-footers in Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns, and they're going to clean things up. And it worked right here. Rudy Gobert is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate year in and year out for a reason. Right here, Steph, he's going to dribble in off the little screen there, a little rub action from Chris Paul. He's going to get the ball, dribble in. Jaden McDaniels doing a great job on him. We're going to look at that later in the video. And everybody's got eyes on him. Actually, that's not Jaden McDaniels. He's over in the corner on Clay. Everybody's got eyes on him, but really the only person coming over to help is the big. They're funneling them towards the bat, which, you know, in the modern NBA, hey, whatever you got to do to stop the other team from shooting threes. But there's two people on this play with their back to the play in Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels, and they're just letting them play inside the three-point line, letting people try to score on Rudy Gobert. It's not working. It's clearly working for the Timberwolves because 10 games in, that's a pretty good sample size. They are first at every defensive metric in the league. Here again, they're just not letting you shoot the three ball. They want you to drive it in, and they want you to try to score over Rudy Gobert. They have two really good perimeter defenders in Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards, and they got two pretty good interior defenders with Rudy Gobert being elite. So we're going to continue to look at the Minnesota Timberwolves here today. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below if you are enjoying today's video. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy or are enjoying today's video at any point. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. And now let's get further into detail on Jaden McDaniels, the best defensive player on this team. Just watch here, coming off the screen. Look at the length he possesses to still be able to contest that shot and to, be out of the play, come back and contest again. There was a reason he got a 5-year, $136 million contract extension, and I'll tell you, it's not for his offense. It is for his defense because he can lock people up. But, his offense is not bad, 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, 1.4 assists. But one thing that just jumps off the screen at you when you watch Jaden McDaniels play defense is that length. Extremely quick, really good length there. I mean, and watch the Timberwolves. They just funnel people to Rudy Gobert. It's not fair. 56% from the field, 44% from 3 this year for Jaden McDaniels. Flaming hot start to the year. Right here, I mean, he just makes Clay look like a 5th grader at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Absolutely panics and just calls a timeout. That is crazy. So you got him, and then you got Ant, who is also a much improved defender as well. He can guard on the perimeter decently well. He's got good length, obviously really athletic. So between those two, that is your perimeter defense. And then you go inside, and you got the Twin Towers. And if Anthony Edwards wants to turn into the Jordans and the Kobes of the shooting guard position, he's got to be able to play defense. Those were two of the best on the defensive side of the ball whenever they played. Now, a guy that is super underrated, that doesn't get talked about enough, is Naj Reid. On the year, he's averaging about 13 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per night, while not even really playing too many minutes. Right now for the Timberwolves, he is the third leading scorer on the third best team in the West, while shooting it 54% from the field and 44% from three on 5 attempts per game as a big. Now those numbers are pretty good, you got to admit. What makes it even more impressive, he's doing it in 22 minutes a game. His per 36 numbers are through the roof. He just signed a 3-year, $42 million extension that when he signed it, it kind of made me scratch my head, but it's for sure paying off right now. The Timberwolves are looking really good. Now, looking at the rest of the guys here, Mike Conley averaged about 10.7 points, 5.3 assists, 3.2 rebounds as the facilitator for this group. He doesn't really do all that much offensively, except, he gets guys into spots, gets the ball off to Ant, and lets Ant do his thing. The other guys here, you got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's playing a pretty big role for him at about 20 minutes per game off the bench. Slow-Mo Anderson and Shake Milton, both pretty good pieces as well. Milton, of course, coming over from the 76ers, and then Kyle Anderson coming over from the Grizzlies a couple of years ago. So that really rounds out their rotation right now to go along with, everybody that we've already talked about. Leonard Miller hasn't even played yet, so once they get him in there, that's another 6'11" wing that can really slide his feet and play defense. Man, defensive potential is through the roof. Now, when you watch this video, do me a favor, don't go down and comment about the Phoenix Suns game that's going on right now. Because win or lose, this video is obviously being played while this video is being recorded while that game is being played. So don't go comment about it, okay? I've already made the video. But the T-Wolves are on a big-time win streak right now, playing that Phoenix team that has, been a little bit iffy. They are in the middle of a 5-game road trip, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a loss anytime soon. But yeah, 9-game, or what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7-game win streak. Sorry, got a little ahead of myself there. So see if they can keep riding this wave. But overall, the Timberwolves have been extremely impressive early on. This is a team that, kind of looking at them, I was like, what in the world? What are they doing? Re-signing Naj Reid for all that money? Although $14 million in the modern NBA isn't that much. Re-signing Jaden McDaniels for all that money. Bringing Rudy Gobert in for all that money. Trading all those assets. But hey, it was clear they had a vision. Okay, it's clear, now why the Nuggets, we were kind of confused. The Nuggets were saying the Timberwolves put up the best fight against them. Like, what? And then we see them shut down the Nuggets the other night. Couldn't even score 100 points. Hey, the Timberwolves, they might have something brewing out in Minnesota. So with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.